believe there are aliens.
Mm-hmm.
We'd have to be pretty stupid to think that in this such a large galaxy, if you want to say,
Universe, yeah.
Universe,
or our own galaxy, yeah.
right? That we're
Yeah.
the only ones. I mean, we don't even know how far this goes.
Well, you know, I'm a scientist. From a scientific perspective, I need to see evidence. And, you know, so far the evidence is what they presented us a few months ago, right? The government itself came out and said there were UAPs.
Yeah, they finally...
They admitted there were some things
Exactly.
out there, we don't know what they are.
Exactly.
And they're behaving very weirdly. To take the giant step and say they're alien, though, needs some more research.
Right.
So I personally, from a personal experience, I've seen a UFO.
I have too.
My wife and I have seen a UFO.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's the one that I saw, I know on a lot of the documentaries that they talk about the elongated one, the cigar shape.
Yeah.
This is the first time I mentioned this on TV. I went outside, I took the dogs out, and to my right, about there's this humongous maple tree, and I would say it was about 75 feet, maybe could be 100 feet above that tree. And it was this elongated,
Cigar-shaped.
yep. I saw this for about 30 seconds. I mean, I blinked my eyes, I made sure I rubbed them, made sure of what I was seeing. This thing was so shiny. It's the shiniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
And it had what looked to me almost like a bus,
Yeah.
like they were touring.
Yeah.
And that's the feeling I got, was like they were sitting there, not one cloud in the sky, complete blue sky.
Yeah.
And this thing had to be as long as a football field.
Yeah. What year was that?
This was early June of this year.
Of this year. Okay.
Yeah. I have seen other things over the past years, but nothing where I could safely say that, you know, positively that it was
Yeah.
a UFO.
Yeah. I mean, it is a UFO. You just don't know if it's alien or not, right? That's the thing.
Right.
So my wife and I saw what looked like a building over the water in Provincetown. We were in Provincetown and staying there for a few days in 1986.
Right.
And around 7:30 at night, we wanted to go out for dinner, went out and we were looking, and a bunch of people had gathered. They were looking at this structure right in the middle of the water. Nobody knew what it was.
Right.
And it looked like a 4-story building, dark as heck,
Yeah.
had red lights on it. They weren't blinking, they were like solid, menacing red light, you could see them.
Right.
And far off to the left of it, you could see this, what looked like a light that rose up from the ocean, bobbed up and down, went left and right, started to scan, then went down, started to scan the surface of the water.
Right.
And it was like a light show for a while. Nobody knew what it was. And back then we didn't have a camera or anything to take pictures of it. I wish I had a camera on me. But there were some other people with us, and we ended up going for dinner eventually, came back. The building was still there, what we thought was a building. We were not familiar with the area at the time. And but the UFO itself was gone.
Right.
And so we went to sleep that evening, woke up next morning, you look out, you see nothing but water. Nothing but water.
It was gone.
What this thing was, nobody knows.
Right.
Until today. We talked to the concierge On Monday, when we were checking out, we asked him if anybody had reported it, and he said yes. Some people talked to him about it. He said probably the Navy were doing some exercises off the coast. That's how he left it at.
Right.
And he smiled and he left it at that.
Well,
and he threw his hands up in the air.
That's just like I like to go out sometimes at night, and you can actually see without hesitation the space station.
Yeah.
Because it's only 250 miles above the Earth. So
visible with the naked eye, you could see it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's real bright, and you can actually see it. It must be my timing, because I see it in the same spot, and then you see it move, and it seems to move west with the sun. So it can, I would imagine, so they can see the Earth better. I don't know why. I mean, it's something you could ask them, and I know they could tell you. But just about every night I see it in the same place.
Yeah.
And it's very bright.
Yeah.
And you can tell it's light. It's not a star.
Yeah, no, but that's an IFO, right? Identified flying object. You know what it is. It's the space station.
And I'm not afraid to tell anybody the stories, because I don't care what they think of me.
Yeah.
I know what I saw.
Well, interestingly enough, eyewitness accounts in our court system is counted on 100% a lot of times, right? Like, what did you witness, what did you see, all of that. In science, it's not.
Right.
Like, your eyewitness account doesn't mean anything. It's just one piece of data, and that's it.
Right.
Unless I'm able to reproduce what happens, it's not scientific, basically.
Well, the funny thing is as I thought about it more, you know, like I say, being so interested in the space period, everything about it.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. I mean, that you can imagine what was in that book that I put together.
I know.
I mean, pictures and writings.
Amazing, yeah.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, when I looked at it later in years, I was floored. You know,
how much information you gathered.
I mean, I got an A+. It wouldn't have mattered to me if I got an A or a B. It was, to me, it was all about the book, you know, that I put together.
Yeah, I mean, my fascination, I remember, initially was with both the Soviets and the Americans, of course, rushing into space. You had Yuri Gagarin, Russian, was the first in space, and then you had John Glenn, who eventually became senator. He ran for president. He died recently, not that long ago. You know, and then the Apollo mission, of course. This was in 1969, I think, in the height of the Vietnam War.
Right around there.
Right around there. Did you watch it live?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was really cool. Yeah.
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, that was a prom night. I had gone to a prom, and that's something I wanted to see. So I took my date, and there was a couple other buddies with their dates, and we all went over to my second oldest sister's house, sat on her living room floor, and watched it from there, and was totally blown away.
Yeah.
I mean, when they started that bull crap about, you know, it was put together in a television studio, and I know they can do some of it. There's no question about it.
No, not this stuff. This stuff was all done.
Not this.
No.
You know, this, trust me, folks, they went to the moon. There's no two ways about it. But it's, I just found it, I don't know what turned me on to it at such a young age. I think I was probably 7 years old when I began following it. And when it comes to Bigfoot, I'm a total believer in him.
Oh, you are?
I am.
Oh, wow. Well, you have to watch a documentary on YouTube called The Bridgewater Triangle. It's an area down in Massachusetts.
I saw
seen it?
that, yes.
Yeah, and they talk about Bigfoot and
Yeah, that was
UFOs and
excellent.
some bizarre
I mean,
murders.
when it comes to the other stuff, you know, like the pig man and all these other, I don't pay attention to it. You know, I might watch it for, you know, because there's nothing else on the other channel. But I was sitting, when we had the flower box out in front of the studio, I was sitting there and I was talking with somebody, and he brought up the subject about Bigfoot. And I said, he asked me if I believed in him. And I said, absolutely. I said, and he asked me why, and I said, it's simple. I said, my feeling is the aliens and Bigfoot, your UFOs, they're tied together. The UFOs